Okay, I know you got the diamond screen. Guess what? We're really here. Happy Friday to you. Welcome to the Trade Talks Live. We go live every day of the week, 10 o'clock Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday, as long as there's not a major holiday or we're not traveling or something.
We're flying through the skies.
You know, they won't let us live stream from the planes. We've tried. They told us, stop, you can't do that. Guys, if you've never been here before, welcome to the show. We do this every day. We talk about the trades. We've put together a great bunch of topics where we literally cover a lot of stuff in the trades. And the reason we do that, we teach people all the time, if you really want to grow in your niche or in your industry, you need to get up every day and study new things so there's less that you don't know anything about. Well, we decided we'd be the guys to put stuff together and just bring it to you, make it really, really easy. So if you've already subscribed, hit the ring button. That way you get notified every time we go live. And if you've been here before, welcome back. We have no idea why you come back, but God, we're glad that you do. Go ahead.
Sure are. I was going to say, happy Friday, everybody. I know you got that weekend coming up. Don't focus on it too hard yet. We still got a day to finish here. But we do want to thank Leak Pro for sponsoring today's episode of the Trade Talks. They let us come in here and hang out for an hour every day and talk trades, a variety of every part of just about every trade. Leak Pro is a manufacturer of the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. They've got a couple different pieces of equipment, one for the outdoor, one for the indoor side. And they also do an in-person training if you don't know anything about it. To check that out, visit www.leak-pro.com.
Grab your mouse.
Or
if you want to learn about the training, give Squirt a call, because there's nothing worse than having great equipment and not knowing how to use it. So we built an amazing training center here. We have 11 leaks under the slab, another one outside the slab. We train you on line location, the leak location itself. And we not just train you how to find it, we train you how to test to make sure that really is it. Then we train you on sewer systems, how to isolate a leak on a sewer system. We've built custom little training with cast iron and PVC. And we do that so you understand you can do it. We put it in your hands. Test balls, hoses, cameras. Say, here you go. Then, if you really want to grow your business, we teach you how to market it and make your phone ring. With so many businesses right now, up to 6 weeks out on leak detection, guys, I'll tell you right there's great opportunities in this. So if you want to learn more about that, give Squirt a call at 1-8888-LEAK-PRO. So, man, jump over there, get it in there. All right. First of all, we're talking national news. Now, this is one of your freaking favorite topics. Why does this come up like every other day?
because they keep going bigger.
All right.
We've talked about 3D printed homes that we've seen going on. But guys, they're doing a fully 3D printed apartment complex in Texas.
Okay. And of course, it's in Austin. I mean,
Right.
I'm just saying.
Hey, we got to keep Austin weird, and we love it.
Whoa. Why you gotta say it like that?
Because it's Austin, baby.
I know it is.
I mean,
weird.
come on, we got to keep it weird. That's just part
And
of
that
it.
is their slogan. I'm giving them a
It
hard
is their
time.
slogan, 100%. But guys, 200 unit apartment complex, completely 3D printed,
And it's led by Icon.
led by Icon.
Robotic 3D printing.
Yep.
What they're building the whole thing out of with a robot.
With a
It's
robot.
3D printed apartment building.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
People keeping an eye on it, loading materials into the printer, I'm sure. And I need to look that up and see how many people it takes to operate one of these 3D printing
I want to go down there.
robots.
I want to go down there and see it. I'm just saying, I really do.
And I need to see if there's any going on in our area.
Okay, now this is the largest fully 3D printed project
Yes.
in the nation.
Yep. Designed to address affordability and construction speed issues. You know, we talk about the housing crisis all the time. There's not enough places. And apartments are becoming a big thing everywhere. I see so many apartment complexes going up now. Now they're going to 3D print them.
Man, this is
It's going to
nuts.
speed it up. It's going to create homes quicker and quicker.
Okay, so developed by Icon, technology allows for lower labor costs, reduce waste, and stronger, more sustainable materials.
Mhm.
And me and you talk a lot about the engineered woods and things like that.
Yep.
And we're actually trying to get pricing on getting the barn fixed from the storm that we had a while back. And the guy's like, "Do you mind if they do engineered joists or rafters?" I'm like, "No." Why, guys? Because we study this every day. We talk about it every day. I understand. Look, the engineered woods are stronger than the wood woods.
That's it.
Wood woods? Is that right? Wood
Natural woods.
Natural woods?
Projected completion for this is 2026, with construction time reduced by nearly 50% compared to a traditional method.
Says Icon's already completed multiple 3D printed homes for disaster relief and affordable housing in Mexico and in the United States.
I was gonna say, I think they're the ones that I was hearing about that we're going to these disaster relief areas and rebuilding pretty quickly because these 3D printing keeps moving. I think they started an area at one time. I don't remember if it was this company or not. Started with 2. They started doing this neighborhood. By the end of the neighborhood, they had 7 machines out there printing.
I just want a machine. I want to build something. I'm just telling you. I really do.
Got a big space to 3D print.
Oh yeah, yeah, guys.
Stuff.
We can build the first 3D office building. Y'all come on down.
Hey,
I got the land.
what if we 3D printed a toilet home? Big home shaped like a toilet.
Are you gonna live in it?
You would.
'Cause I ain't.
You would truly be the king plumber then.
Yeah, I ain't doing that. All right. Bottom line: the real cost of hiring and training new workers, and this is interesting because a lot of people think it's not that much to hire somebody to do stuff like that, but at the end of the day, it is.
It costs money to bring new people in. There's a hiring process. There's paperwork. It takes extra work in the office, to file paperwork, do all the things, tax forms, everything. Just think of the normal hiring process at any normal job around the world. There's a lot to deal with. Lots of paperwork. That's time. That's labor. New insurance coverages, things like this. But with labor shortages persisting, companies are investing more in worker training, but it's at a significant cost. Because if you're bringing somebody in that's not experienced, you need to put them through a week of training before you send them onto a job site so that they're safe, so that you don't have that injury happen, which costs even more. So you've got to put that time in. Well, that's training time. That's dollars.
And safety training is a big deal. And look, we got a lot of people in here. How much do y'all think that it really costs to train someone, to onboard them, to bring them in? And I mean, you're talking recruiting, training, onboarding, a skilled tradesperson. This isn't just an apprentice that's never been in the trades.
Yep.
This is a skilled tradesperson. And, I want to see if anybody puts any prices or anything down what they think it costs. Because literally, I mean, I've worked with some big companies and they've always told me a different number than what you've got here.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's different at every company, but I mean, I want y'all to think about where y'all work. How long does it take to bring somebody in, onboard them, train them? Because I mean, man, a skilled tradesman, imagine it's a residential service company. They've got to understand the vehicles. They've got to understand times, clocking in, getting paid, uniforms, tools, stocking the vehicle. Where do they get stuff? I mean, there can be a lot, but I'll tell you, I think that the number you come up with is pretty low because there's a lot of companies that even if you're a skilled tradesman, you're a ride along in a truck for like 2 months.
Yeah.
That's 8 weeks at a couple of grand a week.
Yep. Yeah. It's increasing more and more nowadays. And this is kind of an average is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Based across the country, things like that. I feel like it's low because I've always heard higher than this also.
Okay.
I have heard higher typically as a usual thing. Retaining skilled workers is just as important as the hiring though, because, and that's the key to remember here is if you've got a fast churn rate, you're constantly hiring and people are leaving, you are costing a lot of money by having a cycle like that. So you've got to put that into thoughts on, okay, is it the right time to hire and bring more people on? Because I know it's going to cost X amount of dollars. And you've got to figure that out at your company if you own it or run it, because those are numbers that you have to know to keep your bottom line where it needs to be.
And I like that it talks about retaining skilled workers. Look, and I talk about Tommy Mello a lot because I think he does a great job with the culture of a company and taking care of the people that really step up and do things the way that's supposed to be done. And his people make good money, but he has no bones about telling you about it. Hey, look, I pay my guys great. You know, I got guys that make 300 grand a year. And, you know, when you've got people like that they do, they want to stay forever, but they've got to do good and prove themselves and get up to that position where they can make that kind of money. Tyler Leah says, hello from San Antonio, Texas. Go Birds. Come on, man. San Antonio and Dallas and Austin and all over Texas. We don't talk about the Birds. So Randy came up here that the average cost to recruit someone, train someone, and onboard them, $4,000 to $7,500. I'm thinking it's at least 10 to 20 grand.
I feel like I always heard 10
Yeah.
was kind of the
At least
standard at most of the companies I went.
At least, yeah. But small businesses can help lower that cost by partnering with trade schools, offer incentives for apprenticeships, and invest in in-house training. You know, we talk about people all the time having trainers to where you can bring people in and train them yourself. That speeds it up.
I feel like a lot of companies, I was in, even in the skilled trades, they'd have some videos to watch, some video series, because then it didn't tie up that safety person onboarding you and stuff for the whole day. They could plug you in, tie you over for a bit so that they could do other things and keep production going.
John Browning says also the time you personally spend or another person spends is real. Yeah, because you've got to invest in your trainer too, not just the time you're paying that trainee. Hello from West Palm Beach. Great place to be. Sure, it's warmer there than it is here right now.
Yep.
Greg Adams says training is huge. I work for Houston Lighting and Power, 3-year apprenticeship, safety training all the time. Then I work for Southwestern Bell, same thing. Now, big companies don't take time. You know, some of them don't. But the biggest ones, I think, are looking at, hey, there's a cost involved, but the cost is more expensive to not train them.
Yep.
John Browning says 10K at least. Yeah, that's about where Rainey and I were thinking. Let's go into safety. The dangers of hand-arm vibration system. Now, I hadn't even heard of this one yet.
So this is kind of where the exoskeleton suits and stuff come into play.
Okay.
Because it's keeping it hung from that cord. But this hand vibration, if you're like, I deal with a grinder all the time. And you notice it if you run a grinder for a long period of time.
Up in your wrist and all kinds of stuff.
It is so odd, but it's something that a lot of people don't know about. But prolonged use of vibrating tools such as jackhammers, drills, and grinders can cause permanent nerve and blood vessel damage.
That's wild.
And that's why I brought this thing in, because it's something that kind of shocked me a little. I feel like I heard about it one time a long time ago.
Okay.
But we talk about, gloves and things that absorb the vibrations for you.
Mm-hmm.
Get the right gloves for things like this to avoid this, because I ran a grinder a lot and I get it. I understand. And it was like, hey, guys, be aware of this. It's out there. The hand-arm vibration syndrome, HAVS, HAVS, is one of the most underreported occupational health hazards, leading to loss of grip strength and chronic pain.
You know what's crazy about this? And the most underreported, we don't think about it. It's just like, you know what, man, my hand's hurting.
It's sore.
But I've been using the grinder all day, or I've been squeezing a drill all day. And yeah, it makes sense that it's just like, is it really something that you think about? So that's kind of wild.
Sure, it's kind of like carpal tunnel started out. Most people are like, oh, no, it's just, I do this all day. Oh, well, then you find out, here's exactly what it is. And That's why we're bringing light to this.
What's funny, and you talk about these new anti-vibration gloves and tool designs aim to reduce the risk, but awareness still remains low.
Yep.
You know, riding a motorcycle. I mean, I've got padded gloves that, just like from my knuckles to my wrist, but still, when you ride for a long time, I mean, I'll be driving down the road and I've got cruise control, put it on cruise control and start shaking my hand. It's like, man, it's getting numb. And that's exactly what this is. It's the vibration of the road. You feel it through there. So I'd be interested in seeing the anti-vibration gloves that they're coming out with for construction. And then, of course, OSHA recommends limiting the time that you're doing on things like this, but most people aren't even aware of it. So there is no enforcement, and think about it. Most superintendents aren't going to come up and say, hey, running that grinder again. You're working a little too much today. Slow down.
Nope.
It's going to be like, can you put a grinder in your other hand?
That's right.
Need you going twice as fast.
Yeah. And it's something to be aware of. Like, I'm going to have to check one out for the kiddo when we go riding up 4-wheelers. Her hands start hurting. It's like, you done? No, my hands. Here, you ride.
Yeah.
Because my hands are more used to it. So, yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
It's a trip.
All right. And we talked about this the other day. We shot a video. There was a plumber that died in Louisiana a couple of weeks ago. And so talking about new construction here, underground construction is expanding. What contractors need to know. And what I'm going to tell you is that here's the thing. If you're working underground, know the trenching, know shoring, know your ground soil type, know anything and everything you need to know to do underground, especially if you're going under houses, doing tunnels, stuff like that. But it says massive investments are being made in underground infrastructure, including subways, data centers, and stormwater management tunnels. When they did DART here, there were a lot of people that worked underground. They got this big, massive boring machines digging out these huge tunnels.
Yes.
And I don't mean 3 foot by 3 foot. I mean like 30 foot by 30 foot.
Yep.
So those are pretty wild. Advanced boring technologies, making it faster and cheaper to build underground. The demand for skilled tunneling contractors, geotechnical engineers, and excavation experts is growing. Guys, we talk all the time about look at a niche that is going to grow, is going to change, is going to expand, is going to do something different. And we talk about smart homes, different things like that. People need to become the smart home contractor and just say, look, I understand smart homes. I understand the plumber side, the HVAC side, the electrical side. I understand everybody's side. And even little details like tying it into an automatic fireplace where you just like, fireplace, turn on, boom, there it is.
Yep, you got fire.
Guys, I've seen it. I mean, I know that they're doing this, but, I've never really thought until here lately, me and you've been talking about it, but it's like, who's the person that knows how to hook the plumbing up to the voice control box, to the water heater, to the air conditioner, to the solar panels? And guys, these whole house smart homes, they're coming. Look at underground construction. Guys, it's hard to just keep building roads on top of roads and bridges on top of bridges.
Yeah.
But I remember whenever they talked about putting the DART rail underground, I thought, man, that's crazy. Wasn't many years later, wasn't but a couple of years later, and it was done.
It's done. 5-6 stories underground. Ride that elevator down, and at one of the stations that I've been to a lot, it's deep. But man, it does not cause any traffic, no delays, no
none
nothing
at all.
And when you are on it, it is amazing cruising through those tunnels and stuff.
And Vegas has this, and talk about underground construction.
Yep.
We got on the monorail, but they've got the Tesla loop underground.
Yep.
Electric vehicles, so there's no fumes. And it's like, what goes from here to here? Boom, boom, boom.
On a track, it knows how to drive, automatic. Drive.
Now, have you been in it or not?
No, I haven't been in it
I hadn't
yet.
done that, but I want to.
I haven't been in it yet.
Uh,
Heard some of the team did a while back.
Yeah. When we went
They were telling me
down
about
to
it.
KBIZ a couple of years ago, they were literally going from building to building in the Tesla thing. And I'm like, how'd y'all get over here so fast? And they're like, well,
We
rode the-
ran. You walked.
We rode the Tesla. It's like, what do you mean you rode the Tesla? Challenges include water table management, soil stability. Think about that.
Yep.
There's your know your ground, and ventilation. So great stuff. But Elon Musk's boring company is developing high-speed underground transit tunnels. Just talked about that in Vegas, aiming to reduce urban congestion. And this is good stuff.
Yeah, well, like okay, so this is talking
Mm-hmm.
underground. It's funny. Whenever I was at AHR in Orlando, they were on the news talking about flying cars from one city to another to get across the highway and everything. And they're like, "Yeah, well, we're going to try to do 1,500 vehicles that just fly back and forth over and over to start." The Jetsons were going into the above
We're
ground
headed
age
that way,
too,
guys.
like underground and above.
What's
Think
his,
of it all.
What's his maid's name? Like Betsy or something? Betty?
Betty, man, Rosie,
Rosie.
right?
That's
yeah.
absolutely. Yes.
Ooh, that was good. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Good pull. That's a good one to pull out there.
Brain's working Friday. All right.
Your brain don't work.
Main skills needed for underground construction: excavation, soil analysis. Guys, if you're doing any underground work or starting to do trenching, first thing you want to do is look up the soil thumb test and figure that out so that you know what soil you're actually dealing with. One of the easiest things to be able to make a decent judgment call on what soil you've got. Waterproofing techniques and specialized machinery operation.
Which we deal with all the time.
Yep.
All right. John Browning says, dumb question. Could the boring company potentially be a big part of this going forward? Yeah. Yeah. It's going to, guys, the world's changing. Y'all know that. Matt McDonough says, Mr. Miyagi of Plumbing and Square. What's up, brothers? Happy Friday, gentlemen. It's amazing to think. It was amazing to clap your hands and turn something on and off. Now I can have a conversation with my AC unit. I know, isn't that nuts? And brother, you're right. It's crazy. John Browning says 100%. The expense of hiring is real and risky. You could spend all that money and they either don't work out or leave you in 6 months or a year. And guys, that's why it's very important to hire the right people and just make sure that they're the right people. Sometimes, well, they're not.
And I always felt bad, I guess, whenever you get those green apprentices and they're just like 3 days in and they're like, look, this isn't for me. Don't even send me a check. I'm going home. I just don't want to do this. I'm over.
No, and that's mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, and we're going to talk about mindset growth here in just a second, but I literally remember hiring a kid. We were out at the airport. And so, I mean, he went through the company. I didn't hire him. And they bring him out. And, man, as soon as he come walking up, you're just looking at him. It's like, yeah, I'm not real sure about this one.
Yeah.
And he gets out on the job. And at noon, I'm walking down through the tunnel, and I look at him. I say, how you doing? He said, yeah, can I talk to you for a second? He said, yeah. He said, hey, look, I don't think this is going to work for me. It's like, okay. I said, I tell you what, I said, give me a minute. Let me go check on this and I'll come back and grab you and I'll take you out to the car. He said, no, I already called my mom. My mom's going to come pick me up. And he's like, I'll just cut through the gate and walk over to the airport parking. She can come get me. And it's like, okay. Yep. He said, man, it's hot out here. I'm like, I know. And he wasn't ready for that. Okay. Mindset growth. The difference between good and great tradespeople. Bam. I mean, I want you to think about that right there because we talk to a lot of people. We bring people in for podcasts. We have people reach out to us. We have people jump in our live streams and leave comments and stuff. We talk to a lot of people. And one of the things that I try to teach people getting into the trades is, look, it doesn't take that much more effort to become great. All you've got to do is say, look, I want to learn more. I want to try harder. I want to give just a little bit more because most people getting in the trades right now, they just want a job. They just want a check.
Yep.
They're not thinking, look, I want to be really, really good at this. All right, go ahead. Technical knowledge. Let's hear it.
Well, technical knowledge is important, but work ethic, adaptability, and problem-solving skills separate great tradespeople from average. And like you taught me to enter the trades with the mindset, this is my career. This is going to be my living, not just a job. No, think more than that. Think further down the road. Think of the future. And that goes a long way. Starting the problem solving skills is huge. The better problem solver that you are, the quicker you can climb the ranks in the field, because if you can figure out how to fix problems, they'll pay you a lot of money to go out there and fix problems, because that's the key to the world. The best workers invest in continuous learning,
Amen.
certifications, new techniques, and emerging technologies.
And new tools.
That's it.
We're learning new tools right now.
All
You
of the
bet.
above. Like, and that's what we're always talking about, guys. Learn, sign up for newsletters, do different things, check out these manufacturers, stay current with what's coming out in the market. Tradespeople who show leadership and reliability tend to move up faster in their careers. I learned this. I was an apprentice, real young. So I was working 7 days a week. So I just occasionally take a day off. Well, then I was really good at what I did, luckily, because in the superintendent, we had layoffs, no problem. But then about a month before the next round of layoffs, he's like, hey, I just want to make you aware. I don't just look at skill here. I also look at reliability. How often are you here?
Right.
Those days off you take, well, that's a day I needed you here doing your
Absolutely.
job. And it was like, oh, wow, I was just taking a break. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't realize
I'm going to
that.
give you a break.
I will be more reliable than anybody you got now. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Like, I can do this. And it's a mindset that you've got to break that habit. Try to be the best.
Always. And I'm not going to share it because I don't have a good version of it. But one thing I talk about a lot is there's 10 things that require zero talent. Being on time, making an effort, being high energy, having a positive attitude, being passionate, using good body language, being coachable, doing a little extra, being prepared, and having a strong work ethic. Guys, those things there will separate you from everybody else on the job site. And if you'll learn to do these things and take it personal, say, look, I'm gonna be great at this, it will make all the difference in the world. Today's video is sponsored by Leak Pro. Leak Pro is the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. If you want to grow your business or grow your skill sets as a plumber, learning leak detection and having the right tools to do it properly, guys, it'll completely change your world. When we started specializing in slab leaks and leak detection, our business exploded. And it did it because a lot of other people were trying to do it. They weren't doing it right. They didn't have the right tools. They didn't have the right training, or they were depending on other companies to come do the locating work for them. And they're 6 weeks out, 4 weeks out, anything at all like that. We invested in the equipment and the training, learned how to do it. Leak Pro is the most precise leak detection system I found, the easiest to use. And if you want to learn more about it, go to www.leak-pro.com. And if you really want to get good at it, check out the training. We've got a training facility with 11 slab leaks that you will find. They're not easy to find, but we teach you how to do it. And when you walk away at the end of the day, you're confident that you can find leaks. We've got another leak outside of the slab underground, a little harder to find. Sometimes we can't even find it because it plugs up or something. But we do something else. We teach you how to isolate sewer lines, how to isolate the branches, cast iron and PVC, so you don't just come in and sell somebody a whole sewer system. You can tell them, like, you really don't need that. Here's where your leak is. A lot of plumbers don't even know how to find these. So we teach you to do that. Then, as the company owner, if you want training on social media, on SEO, how to get found, how to make your phone ring, we'll definitely talk about that. To find out more about the training, give Squared a call at 1-8888-LEAK-PRO. And then to find out more about all of it, go to www.leak-pro.com. All trades why more contractors are cross training their crews.
Yeah, and it's been a little while since we've discussed this. So I figured it's a good time to bring this back. And guys, he talks about it a lot. Instead of rolling up, roll out, acquire other trades to add to your list of services. Well, also cross train your employees so that they can do a little bit of both trades. So that if one gets slow or wraps up on a job, hop them over to the other trade and help them finish up, wrap that job up. This keeps more income coming in that company, and that's huge. Cross-training employees in multiple trades help businesses stay flexible and avoid labor shortages.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big deal these days. Like I always say, I was a plumber, pipe fitter, and welder. Wherever they needed me, they'd kind of throw me and stick me into it. Now, I was just an apprentice plumber, but guess what? You can work under the direct supervision of any journeyman with that. They found out, oh, I learned plumbing from a good plumber. Stick him in there and have him set some fixtures and run some pipe, no problem. Because I'd run it just as true as I did all my pipe fitting stuff.
Bet.
Many contractors are now training their workers in HVAC and electrical crossover skills, plumbing basics, and structural work also. Because whenever you go in to set a unit, things like this, you've got to change that structure up some. You've got to beef it up to support the new unit, different things. If it's not just a change out, it's a complete renovation, things like that. So you need to be able to deal with different parts of the projects. I felt like whenever we were doing service plumbing and stuff, I learned a lot of framing because adding in wall boxes, different things like this, you had to learn some of that stuff too, to be able to put it all in right.
And it makes it good because, multi-skilled workers reduce downtime, make job sites more efficient, but also it makes them feel better because they're learning new things. I remember when I worked at a company before I got in the union, that they came to all of us and they're like, look, we'd like to cross-train y'all on other trades. Would y'all be interested? And I'm like, absolutely. I stayed late a few days to learn how to weld, and I didn't learn how to weld, but I wanted to.
Yep.
And then I thought about the HVAC, and then I ended up going somewhere else. But cross-training, it's a great thing to do. When I became a superintendent, and then I had electricians under me, and sheet metal people under me, and pipe fitters and welders, it's like, man, I've got to get in here and learn a little bit about this. That way I can talk to them intelligently. And I was good at running the work. I was good at running the men, but I had to understand their job, what they did, how they did it. That's why whenever I got my HVAC certification, it was pretty easy for me to get. Where'd I go? Oh, Matt McDonough says we can change our titles to problem-solving wizards. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. And we do a lot of that. And then my brother, Andrew Brown, how are you, sir? So the trades are the backbone of the economy. Learn a trade, scale the ladder of success, and make six figures. Excited to have you on my podcast, Roger. Brother, I'm looking, yeah. We do good stuff together. I like that. All right. So now we got to get serious. Laws and licenses.
Yeah.
Should there be a national construction license? And I think there needs to be a national professional license. So go ahead. Let me hear what all you got here.
So currently, each state has its own licensing rules, making it difficult for contractors to work across state lines. And I understand this, especially when there's a lot of major cities that are really close to all the state lines crossing. So it makes sense in a lot of locations. Why not around the country? Because just because I'm in the middle of Texas, does that mean I can't go work in the middle of Louisiana? It does right now.
Right now, well, unless you're a plumber, we have reciprocity.
Yep.
Reciprocity. There we go.
And I think they're doing electricals for Louisiana too right now. So that was a bad state for me to throw out.
Well, dadgummit.
But a national license could streamline business operations, but it could create bureaucratic hurdles. Because every state wants it done different where they're at. Now, an alternative I like for this is certifications maybe for that state or the area or something like that when it truly does have to be major differential there. And like me working here and then me going up to Alaska, that's going to be a major differential, I think. I would need an Alaska certification to know, just to make sure that I studied the right parts to be able to do it up there.
You know, and bring it to me, it could be something like endorsements.
Correct.
You know, what we have here in Texas, I've got my master plumber's license, but I've also got the endorsement to do med gas, to do water supply protection specialist, to do multi-purpose residential fire protection systems. And these are endorsements that you've got to go through a training for. You don't just say, "Hey, I think I can pass that. Let me take that test." You literally, you go to training, you go to Austin for some of them. You take the test down there, and man, it's a great thing to do. I really wish that we could come up with a national plumbing license, and then you get the different endorsements for the states. And then the states could even get together. Like if Texas and Louisiana have a reciprocity agreement, and Texas and Arkansas, well, you know what? If you've got a Texas license, you automatically get those endorsements too.
Yes.
I mean, you could have 50 endorsements on your license, or you could have multi-state endorsements like Texas, Arkansas, and Louisiana.
Yep.
And say, hey, you've got TAL.
Yeah, like we've talked about that before. Regions,
Yeah.
Northeast, Southeast, like cover them all.
Mhm.
That'd be cool. Some states are already working on regional
Reciprocity.
reciprocity agreements.
Yeah, I got tongue-tied. It messed you up.
I know it did. But that's just showing that we're headed the right direction. The states are trying to make it happen within themselves to make this a thing.
And we could make it even bigger.
We could make it even bigger. That's the key here.
So here's what's cool about a national license. It could simplify work across the states. We already know that. It might not account for regional building codes, the endorsement. Hey, you've got to be able to know what's right in this region, in this area, maybe this state. But if Texas can say, hey, Arkansas and Louisiana, y'all know enough, we can work here and back and forth. I think that we can find a way to do this. And Texas, used to be, and don't know if it still is or not, it's been a while since I've gone down there for a test, but used to be one of the hardest plumbing tests to pass.
Yeah.
Then I had a guy that had like multiple licenses up and down the central United States, and he wanted to come in here and go to work for me and then help me expand. And, great story. 6 months later, he's like, dude, y'all got the hardest freaking plumbing exam I've ever seen. It's like, okay. And he's
Good.
like, I don't know why y'all do this, because we want to protect the health of the people in
That's it.
Texas. So to me, that's what it's all about.
Need to know all those things that are on that test
I know,
to do
they're
it
there
right.
for a reason.
Like that's it.
They're there for a reason. All right. So we're going to roll over here into business training. And look, business training is where we all want to get. Okay. I mean, think about that. Do you want to work for somebody else for the rest of your life? I mean, here, I'll sell you on being your own business owner. You can give up that guaranteed 40-hour-a-week job where you get paid every Friday to work 100 hours a week for yourself, where you may not get paid several weeks. I'm just saying that's about what it is.
That is kind of the reality when you first make that jump.
It is, man. It's a whole new world out there. But we're not really going to talk about that part. We're going to talk about the cost of equipment downtime. And we talk about it, where it hits me the most is vans and trucks and things like that. Because we started out buying older vans that we could afford, that we could pay for, or that we could finance and say, man, look, we did this. Later, it was, look, lease new vehicles, get 4 at a time. We're good. Let's go.
Don't worry about it.
And go, oh my gosh, it was fantastic. But every hour of machine downtime costs an average $300 to $500.
Yeah,
guys, that's an hour.
It's $3,000 to $4,000 a day.
Yeah, no,
An
but
8-hour day,
but it's right.
Yeah, that's completely accurate. Like you say, a plumbing van. How much are those plumbers earning? What are they running?
That van should be making me a couple of grand a day.
That's it.
And if it ain't running, guess what? It ain't making me a couple of grand a day.
That's it. And it's costing, because for the repairs, for the time, everything.
Preventative maintenance programs can save businesses thousands of dollars per year. I like the lease program. There's a problem with it. Here, it's your van. You fix it. I'm serious. And then GPS tracking, and AI diagnostics help predict equipment failures before they happen. And look, guys, we know the smart vehicles are coming. They're going to be able to tell us, hey, there's a bearing starting to make a little bit of noise that it shouldn't be making. So we know that we need to get the bearings replaced or whatnot. And guys, it's just your equipment, whether it's tools.
Yep.
Imagine this. We've got a pipe thread.
Mm-hmm.
Say we're running a big pipe threading job. Say we're running 2 jobs.
Yep.
And one of the pipe threaders goes down. Well, guys, if that's a big pipe threading job, we did a big one in Wiley. If your pipe threader goes down or your press gun goes down, it's like, okay, roll up.
You ready?
Go ahead.
We were doing State Farm, multiple high-rise building.
Mm-hmm.
My groover went down in one building. Oh, well, hey, don't worry about it. There's another groover over here. You just got to carry all your pipe down across, wait for a bucket hoist, go up, groove it, come back down, come over, wait for a bucket hoist, go back up. Then you can install your pipe. Don't worry about it. We've got one on the job.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Equipment going down is expensive.
We did that for about a half a day. I told the boss, look, call the office and get me another grooving machine.
Buy a groover.
Because we are not going to do this all the time. I'm either going to bring that groover over here and all those guys can come over here, or you're going to get me a groover real quick so I can do my job. Like, we are not going to spend this much extra labor carrying pipe around a job. It's not worth it.
No, and think about that. Now you got guys carrying pipe, 20-foot joints of pipe. 'Cause that's what they come in. 20-foot joints of pipe, building to building to cut it and groove it and do all that. Guys, people get hurt carrying big pipe around.
Carrying weight.
It gets heavy. And it's just not a good thing to do. But you got to understand that.
You got to think about that whenever your equipment, your big equipment or small equipment tools are down, it's costing money. How quick can you get that back up and going?
John Browning says 100%. Absolutely. Alex Ivy, how you doing? Good to see you in here. Hope everybody is having a wonderful Friday afternoon. All right. Let's talk about this. What's the biggest piece of equipment you've ever had go down on a job? Because we've been without a SkyTrack for 3 or 4 days.
I was going to say SkyTrack is probably I've had some big excavators go down, but usually there were multiple excavators out there. So it did hurt us, but not too bad. The SkyTrack's the big one, though, because when a SkyTrack, you don't have a lot of extra SkyTracks around. You just don't. Digging, yeah, you're going to have multiple different pieces of equipment to dig with. Not lifting equipment, though. Not all the time. Now, sometimes you can borrow from a different trade on the job, maybe. But, guys, the SkyTrack down for a few days. We had them, they came out and tore things up at night one time. They had to come out and re-pull all the hydraulic lines on the SkyTrack, and that takes some serious time.
So, what are things people can do to prevent equipment going down?
Regular inspections is the key to a lot of this. When you come up to your equipment on a daily, check it. Make sure if something's wrong, if it's a rental, call that company and go, hey, I got an issue. Get out here. I need somebody out here today to fix this. So there's not a lot of downtime. Proper operator training. Teach them the right way to do it. Things to look for, like the hydraulic hose. If somebody was operating and got it hung up on something and busted it.
That's we've seen.
I have seen that. It's just improper training. Invest in backup equipment when possible. Like I was saying about the excavators, we usually had a few different pieces of equipment out there to dig with, so that's not too bad. But
You're normally
SkyTracks,
not going to have another SkyTrack just sitting there just in
you're
case.
just going to have 2 SkyTracks sitting, like, no.
All right, vehicles. Now, new emission standards are impacting fleet decisions. Guys, emissions they're not going to go away. I'm just going to tell y'all that.
Not at all. They're going to get
Tighter.
over time. and more and more.
So the EPA is rolling out a stricter emissions regulations affecting diesel work trucks and heavy equipment. I got a
Listen
diesel
up.
Work, I got
I
a
know.
diesel work truck.
I know.
More contractors are switching to hybrid and electric fleets to comply with new laws. I'm gonna go get a new truck then.
Yep. Bye. He's gonna come back with a Ford Lightning, guys. I just know it.
Yeah, that ain't happening. I'm just saying.
oh, that's funny that it's on there.
I don't. Yeah, I know.
While EV trucks reduce fuel cost, charging infrastructure is still a major challenge for job sites. This is going to be kind of normal. Like most job sites I was in new construction. So it's just an empty field whenever we show up to really start. There's no EV charging station set up for anybody to charge their vehicles. So this is going to be something that we end up working on. I'm sure they're going to end up building some that are on trailers that they can just take somewhere and put and plug into a system or something. There's got to be.
They're going to come up with.
They're going to come up with some way to do this and make it easier for job sites, especially from.
Well, I mean, look,
field
we
builds.
can roll a trailer out that's got air conditioned and heated restrooms in it.
Yep.
Showers in it. So
That's it.
yeah, we can do anything. And electric vehicles, are they really practical for the contractors? Well, if it's local, if it's, just on a job site, something like that, maybe so. But if you're doing a bunch of remote work, like you were working up in Oklahoma for a while.
Yep.
You wouldn't want to drive an electric truck from here to there and back if there's no charger there. That's right at your limits.
That's it. Yeah, it was 80 there, 80 back, but then you're running around, you're using that truck during the day to do things, move materials, all that.
Take people to lunch.
Take people to lunch. It'd be gone. It'd be gone.
So, and if you're towing heavy loads, you're going to even put more of a strain on it and go through that battery quicker. So at the end of the day, the big dog diesel is still the king of the road.
Especially
when it comes to work
When it
trucks.
comes to hauling heavy stuff, especially diesels are.
Man,
still
you notice I got to social
in the
media a
lead.
lot quicker than
I know, like you're
than-
rushing through this.
I
Why?
know. I don't
It's
know.
because of who we're spotlighting.
Who we spotlighting today?
You spotlight yourself today. I'm
Oh,
gonna,
man,
I'm
that's
gonna
hard
sit
to
down.
do. That is hard to do.
So it's Friday. It's plumbing.
And I've been bitching all week long.
I've left him off for a while, but we can't just keep this thing going without talking about Roger Wakefield plumbing education.
Well, I mean, that's not even this channel. It's another channel.
It's not this channel. I know.
Go ahead. You're good.
Boom. Roger Wakefield plumber. Looky there.
I
See
know.
what comes up. Let's
Well,
see who
we're
shows
on
up. Hey,
YouTube.
check that guy
We're on
out.
YouTube.
I know that guy. So at Roger Wakefield here, let's see what all.
Let's see
This had
what,
to
see
say
what you
about
got
you.
to say.
Roger Wakefield is one of the most influential voices in the plumbing industry.
Okay, now wait a minute. Hold on. How did you did not write this?
No,
That would have been
Not
hard.
all this
That
stuff.
would have been hard for you to write.
I love my dad, but
but enough's enough.
it's hard to talk good about him all the time, guys. Come on.
Oh, he does it all the time. Let me tell you.
But this one, I can honestly agree with. I can remember the first plumbing trade show I ever went with him to.
Uh-huh.
Our goal was to go 100 feet in and talk to some people.
We know the booth we were headed to. We were headed to speak to a
Headed to speak
specific
to-
sponsor.
Yep.
Yep.
to General Pipe Cleaners.
Yep,
Our
absolutely.
buddy Dave was where we were
Absolutely.
headed. Now, I can
Dave
say he's
and,
my buddy.
Dave and Angela.
I can say he's my buddy now.
Yep.
Didn't know who it was back then at all.
That's the first time you met him.
It took us an hour because every plumber there recognized who he was and wanted to stop, take a picture, chat, talk a minute about how they found him on social. Really neat. So he is probably one of the most influential plumbers out there. Has
Kinda
probably
crazy.
been on it just about longer than any other plumber too. Yeah.
No. There's
one
a
or
lot
two
of
more?
plumbers that were there longer than me, and when I first started doing YouTube, it's funny because I'm looking at these other channels. It's like, oh my gosh, I've got
be that big.
100 subscribers and they've got 10,000 or 20,000 or 50,000 because there were some that were a lot bigger than me, and I'm just like, man, I'm never gonna get there. But when we do videos like this, and I tell you, finish your deal, and then we'll talk because we do have a little extra time for this segment.
I was going to say, so he teaches trade professionals how to grow their businesses, market themselves, and become better plumbers.
Mhm.
Also teaches DIYers how to do their own plumbing, how to fix simple problems in the house, especially. That's how he originally started, guys, was just trying to show his customers. Because you hate going to that plumbing call and it's, oh, your flapper chain is unhooked. Yep, your toilet works now. It's all fixed. But here I have to charge you the service call fee because I ended up driving 30 minutes over here and I got to drive 30 minutes back and it's going to cost.
Hey, do you see what we did right here?
So, oh, look at you. I didn't you? Nope, had no clue.
Yeah, me either.
I ain't looked at it in a while.
I know. We might be making money over there.
Too long
Yeah, we
anyway.
probably need to. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Also, his content ranges from hands-on tutorials to business coaching. We try to hit every level of the plumbing industry from bottom to top, even to entrepreneurs beyond just plumbing. Try to help market your business. We have some fun too. Like some of my favorites is testing stuff like we've got pulled up there. That's still blowing my mind because
I know. And
the weld joint blew, guys.
yeah,
The
we
weld
tested
joint.
I want y'all to hear this. We glued copper together with a copper glue.
Yep.
Did it just like they told us to. At 7,897 PSI, at almost 8,000 PSI, the weld that was attaching the adapter to hook
gauge.
up the gauge, the weld broke, not the glue joint copper.
Stainless socket weld joint.
Guys, this blew my mind. This blew my mind. It's crazy because I mean, look, in this video, is that a real picture of the gauge or do we plugged the number under?
No, I think that's where it actually ended.
I know
probably
it's where it ended.
He probably had to recreate that, but
Yeah, to
that
get
was
that
the
look.
number on the gauge. Yes.
But I mean, man, look at some of this stuff we get to do.
Mhm.
We have fun. What we talked about, look, Aquapee, man, this is garbage. And we made a video about it, trying to make it work right and look good, and it just doesn't do it. Which, did you ever order any more of those? Okay, need you to. I know you hate ordering.
Somebody on the team, please order those.
Aquapee, I know. Plumbing tools to throw away. Well, you know what? We've found some that you might want to get rid of and replace them with something better.
Yeah.
And with the pallets we unloaded yesterday, we might be doing that again.
Cleaning house.
And then reviewing other plumbers. I mean, look at this.
Yes.
This kid, Cole the Corn Star, a corn farmer, Iowa, somewhere
Don't
up
give
in
me
there.
a line for sure. I don't remember the exact state.
But then you look down here, and I love this because this plain video, how to fix a running toilet guaranteed. Guys, 5.3 million views. And the day we shot it, Will, my stepson at the time, literally shot it, edited it, posted it, and then walked in my office. He said, "That's the worst video we've ever shot." I said, "Why would you say that?" He said, "It's not funny. It's not exciting. It's just you standing there showing people how to fix a toilet, and it was boring." I said, "Man." I said, "Well, we've got another one we can put up." He said, "Oh, no. It's already up.
Too late.
It's too late. We don't have another one. We didn't have another one, or I wouldn't have put it up." And I said, "Well, let's never shoot another one like that again. And we'll work on always having a video in the vault." And how many have we got in the vault right now?
I'd have to ask him. It's at least 3, I bet.
Okay. And so that means we've got 3 shot, edited, ready to go. In case something happened. If I got sick for a week, we could still post video.
We could still meet schedule.
I know. And which is what it's all about.
Or we'd have to throw me in front of a camera and
And he could talk bad about
I'd
one
have
of
to
my
like
videos.
shave the beard to that mustache or something. I don't know.
But it's funny because, guys, we said we'd never do that video again or one like it. And that has to come out to be the most popular video we've ever done.
Yep.
And it just goes to show, look, social media, and we talk about why y'all should be doing social media. It gets you out in front of people. The opportunities that we've had, the walking into a trade show and not being able to walk 100 feet.
Yep.
How long did it take us to go 100 feet?
Over an hour.
But
We were already talking to people outside the door, waiting for the doors to open too. We get almost everywhere early. We were there 15, 20 minutes early, right at the door because we were staying close. It was like, yeah, okay, let's load up, let's head down.
and those people were just nice because we're just talking.
Yeah.
But as soon as we walk in and they saw, wait, he's taking pictures.
Yep.
He's shaking hands. He's talking to people. He's giving out swag.
Yep.
It's like, as soon as we'd finish with somebody, it'd be like there's nobody here.
Load
Randy'd
up.
grab his backpack. I'd grab my bag, and then
Two
two
steps.
people would walk up, and it'd be like, okay.
2 steps or no
It's
steps.
like, well, we're not going anywhere anytime
Yep.
soon. But it's so neat because, look, I love what I get to do. But to me, it's all about helping the viewer, helping you, helping who's watching. Can I help you fix a problem? Can I help you get into the trades? Can I help you become a better tradesman? Can I help you start your own business? Can I help you grow the business you've already started? Or if you're a homeowner DIYer, man, I'm going to help you learn how to do everything because I show people how we do what we do.
Can I save you some frustrations that I had to deal with already?
And some money.
and some
And
money.
some
Like,
money.
That's it.
Anyway, Roger Wakefield, man, why did we pull him up?
That plumbing guy.
Man, jeez. All right. So, how realistic is 3D printed construction for large scale projects? Now, talked about an apartment complex today.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
We've been
Like,
talking houses
we've
or
been talking
modular and stuff like
houses.
that.
We've talked modular, stuff like this. Now we're talking 200 unit apartment facilities.
That's big.
I think it's going to be coming to a possibility for some larger even projects. Now, it's getting there. Scalability is a challenge. They're going to have to build bigger robots for bigger things, obviously. So they're going to have to kind of figure that out.
And I want to see this because I picture some robot crawling around on the side of the building, you know, putting a brick in or something. It's like, wait a minute. I know,
Spider-Man.
exactly. Yeah, it was red and blue too. What I
Yeah,
pictured.
see,
So,
looky there.
I'm joking. But man, look, the thing is, the biggest benefits are the reduced waste, lower labor costs. Guys, you want to be the guy that knows how to control that robot. I'm serious. And then faster construction times. I mean, I really, next time I'm in Austin, which I'm in Austin in 2 weeks,
You have to go
I
find
want
that place.
I want to find out where the Icon.
Icon?
Yeah, I want to find out where the Icon construction
100
project
unit
is.
apartment complex, yeah.
I want to see it. I want to watch it work. Randy, tell me about League Pro.
So we want to thank League Pro for sponsoring today's episode of the Trade Talks. They let us come in here and just have a
Have
good
fun.
time and talk trades, every part of the trades, all throughout every trade we can possibly talk about. But Leak Pro is the manufacturer of the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. They build 2 different devices. You've got the Probe, which has a stainless steel rod, real durable for that meter to the home service. They also build a Sidekick. It's this pistol grip style right here behind me. It's got an aluminum rod on it. It's a less dense metal, so when you go inside the house and you're listening through slabs or even driveways, that aluminum rod eliminates that concrete layer so that you can listen and pinpoint locate leaks. If you don't know much about leak detection, check out our site at www.leak-pro.com because I offer a 2-day in-person training here just outside of Dallas, Texas. I teach you how to locate the lines. I've got 11 leaks under a slab to run you through multiple different scenarios through that. I've got one that's just outside of the slab so that you know what an underground leak sounds like also. But then beyond that, I have 2 sewer systems set up, one cast iron and one PVC, where I teach you how to go to the double clean out outside of a home and isolate branch lines under there to determine exactly which branch line's leaking on that sewer line. And if you've got some time, you need help with your company, Roger will give you some marketing lessons and check your website, see how the SEO and things like that are working to see if your business is actually getting found on Google, things like that. If you want to check it out, visit www.leak-pro.com. You can book a Zoom or something there, kind of browse the site, check out the equipment and things. Or if you want, just give me a call at 1-8888-LEAK-PRO. I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
All right, Matt McDonough says, I have to say thank you, Roger. I remember the videos you put out in the live streaming. It inspired me to do better. So, Mr. Miyagi of Plumbing, thank you for your time and awesomeness. Matt, thank you. I love doing this. You know that. A running toilet, you have to catch it first.
Sure do.
Yes, you do. Now, Hombre Illustre says, I can be a plumber if I have a neck tattoo. I've seen people have face tattoos. So, yeah. Score
I'm a tattoo guy. I like it.
Yep. Guys, thank y'all so much for today. I appreciate you being here. Happy Friday. If you're still working, be safe the rest of the day. Most accidents happen on Fridays and Mondays. Think about what you're doing today, not what you're going to be doing this evening or this weekend. But whatever you do today, do it safe.
Get out there, guys. Thanks for showing up today. See you back here on Monday. Get out there, enjoy your weekend, and hit it effing hard. Bye, guys.
Thank you, guys. See y'all.